Hello, tiny tree.
The discovery of the transistor is a result of scientific research who sought to understand the atomic structure and electrical behavior of semiconductors, which had intrigued...
Yes. Hello. Hello. Gotta love the music, man. How are we? Hello, Tiny Tree again. So, excellent. Today we are going to be doing some more After Realms stuff, recreating the playtest in Unity game engine. We've got all the features down, we just need to do it. So we're going to leave a bit of a log here every day. I actually I didn't do this yesterday, but let's do it now. So we've got, so we've added the, hang on, we've already completed the visual tile map. Yep, okay. We've added a collision tile map. Added the sprite for the player object. And that's it. We haven't done anything else yet. I'm still trying to, I was literally spending my time, and a bit repetitive yesterday, actually, doing some more like, you know, sprite sheet stuff. I had to go and rename all the frames again. So that was a, whoops. So yeah, all this is new. This is the sort of thing that we can expect to happen as time goes on here. Because we need to be, we have to be very careful. If we don't want to set something up wrongly, and I have to work it out and get it right the first time. But we've got a few different things going on here. I actually don't know what these exactly are. Oh, they look like controls and animations. Okay, so this has got something to do with the sprite sheet that we implemented yesterday or something. I'm gonna move myself just a bit over to the, whoops, a bit over to the left, just a little bit. There we are. So basically, we need to make sure that if we're going to do this, that we have the animation. So I've actually got a video here that talks about the animation. So we're gonna watch this video, and we're gonna follow the instructions on the video. Work out how to do this. This is all about the animations. I mean, the players walking, idling, all that kind of stuff. So we need to learn how to do all this. All right. So we've got this. We've got our man in the scene. Excellent. Let's keep going.
Add a couple animations to this character. So obviously we have a bunch of frames here and we want to put those in animations. I'm thinking from this character it's like idle, attack.
And this video is by Chris Tutorials on YouTube, by the way. Why the hell did it do that? Okay, let's, oh yeah.
Idle, move, attack.
Okay,
put those in animations. I'm thinking from this.
Let's just back it up.
Let's take this a little bit further and add a couple animations to this character. So obviously we have a bunch of frames here and we want to put those in animations. I'm thinking from this character it's like idle, attack, idle, move, attack, hurt, and die. So let's try to get all of those animations real quick. I'll do add component animator so that this character can actually render animations. And with this animator object added to our slime, we can go up to window, animation, and then animation again. And we'll get this little box for creating animation clips. I'm gonna drag this to where we have console project as a third tab down here. And now let's go ahead and create animation clips. So we have idle as one animation. Let's go ahead and create that. But actually we need to use the project view as well. I'll put this up in the top right instead. So you can just drag and drop windows wherever you need them. So in this case, it's a little more convenient because we can take these frames and just drag them right into this animation window. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and open up the archive to see how many frames the move has. So it looks like 4. So presumably that would be the first 4 frames here. So I'm going to left click on the first frame, hold shift, and then left click on the 4th frame to grab 4 frames. Now we drag this into the animation window. And if we hit play, our character should be doing the idle animation. But obviously that's playing back way too quick. So one way we can fix that is to space out our frames. So if I take all the frames past the first one and I pull them into 5 frame intervals, and this would be assuming 60 frames per second, then we can make the animation play back a bunch slower. There's other places you can actually change that as well. And then I'm going to copy the last frame here and paste it at 20 so that when we get to the 15 frame here, it doesn't immediately go back to the start, but that keeps playing until we're at 20. So now if we hit play, we should have our idle animation playing back a lot more smoothly and consistently. So the first frame, the second frame, the third one, the fourth one, and then the fourth one again, so that we can expand the duration of that 4th frame of animation. So now we need to create more clips.
Turn my mic on. Turn it off when the video is playing. Jesus. Alright, so let's have a look. I'm going to probably watch this again to try and get my head around it. Because it does seem quite simple, actually. But I do know that... I see, the way that I'm making my play... The reason why I'm so kind of lost right now in comparison to what I learned on my course is because we did this so differently. I have a sprite sheet. So I did this differently. I actually had a parent empty object, and I had it as the as something else. But yeah, they just anyway. I might be just doing it wrong. I don't know. Maybe I learned it the wrong way. I have no idea. Typically, I had like an empty parent object and then called it the player, then had everything else attached to it. So like you can do like everything else with it. But like anything, you can add things onto there, and it's just a lot easier and all that kind of stuff. But this guy is not doing that, and it seems like if I try to even do anything remotely like this with the variation that I learned in my course, everything's different. So I don't know. It is really weird. Let's have a look. Gonna sorry, just checking something here. Okay. I'll make sure I'm fitting completely in here. Alright, so I see the tile set's looking good. I've been trying to learn out how to use the rule tile set. A rule tile set. Not sure if I'm familiar with that term. I just use I just did a normal tile set. I've got this collide one. I think I'm going to be using that for like adding collision and stuff like that to certain areas of the tile set. But we'll get back to that. So, all right. So I've got to add the animation. I've got to add the animator to this object. So let's just do that, eh? I think like it overcomplicates it when you put like an empty object on there. So it automatically tiles it, so you could draw it. You could draw and it automatically changes to the right tile. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I'm not sure if we can. I mean, we might be able to. All right. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Player. We want to add animation. So animator. Animator. That. Good for auto generation maps and efficient level making. Yeah. It certainly would be. The less you have to do, the more time you save. Alright, let me just watch the video again. To make sure. So if we add the animator...
Let's take this a little bit further and add a couple animations to this character. So obviously we have a bunch of frames here and we want to put those in animations. I'm thinking from this character it's like idle, attack, idle, move, attack, hurt, and die. So let's try to get all of those animations real quick. I'll do add component animator so that this character can actually render animations. And with this animator object added to our slime, we can go up to window, animation, and then animation again. And we'll get this little box for creating animation clips. I'm gonna...
Let's do that. So window, animation, animation. Yes, I have the box. Excellent. What's next?
Drag this to where we have console project as a third tab down here. And now let's go ahead and create animation clips. So we have idle as one animation. Let's go ahead and create that. But actually we need to use the project view as well. I'll put this up in the top right instead. So you can just drag and drop windows wherever you need them. So in this case it's a little more convenient because we can take these frames and just drag them right. I'll put that in animation clips. So we have idle as one animation. Let's go ahead and create that. But actually we need to use the project view as well. I'll put this up in the top right instead. So you can just drag and drop windows wherever you need them. So in this case it's a little more convenient because we can take these frames and just drag them right into this animation window.
Oh my god, that's what it is. Okay.
So I'm going to cheat a little bit and open up the archive to see how many frames the move has. So it looks like 4. So presumably that would be the first 4 frames here. So I'm going to left click on the first frame, hold shift.
Called it cheating.
And then left click on the 4th frame to grab 4 frames. Now we drag this into the animation window. And if we hit play, our character should be doing the idle animation. But obviously that's playing back way too quick. So one way we can fix...
Let's just get one thing done at a time here. So we need to like... Personally, I don't like it on the side here. That's crazy.
Frames.
Maybe. I think I'll put it over here, but unless we need to access maybe...
Now we drag this into the animation window. And if we hit play, our character should be doing the idle animation. But obviously that's playing back...
Okay. So we can select the animation, put in.
So you can just drag and drop windows wherever you need them. So in this case it's a little more convenient because we can take these frames and just drag them right into this animation window. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and open up the archive to see how many frames the move has. So it looks like 4. So presumably that would be the first 4 frames here. So I'm going to left click on the first frame, hold shift, and then left click on the 4th frame to grab 4 frames. Now we drag this into the animation window.
Okay. Ugh. Okay. I'm a little out of it today. Sorry guys if I seem to be repeating myself or having to see things more than once. So I should actually stop going to bed at 2 AM. That might be a good start to resolve that issue. But let me just see here. So we've got we're going to open up the animation. Okay. Now for this we've got an idle one, don't we? So Go create. I'm gonna put in. Oh, we put in new animation. So what if we change this? Because I don't think we're using this at all. I'm gonna go idle, and we're gonna save it. Yes, I want to replace it. Why not? And like he did, I'm just going to simply pick up 4 frames or an animation, a full animation here. Let's have a look. So here we go. Idle down 0. See, not cheating. It is not cheating. If you, the thing is, right? He said he was cheating. I mean, I don't really. I mean, maybe he was just maybe he was just joking when he said this. But like seriously, there's so much to a game. There's so much to making games. If you can save time in doing something, do it. This is why I decided to name these files. Yesterday we named these files because it's so easy to know. Okay, well that's an idle animation. You know, he's not just standing there, or whatever. All right, so here we go. Okay, so we'll zoom in. Ah, that's hilarious. Alrighty. I think what he did was he moved the bulbs out a little, didn't he? Or whatever they are. Here we go. Oh. I'll check my work with what he's done here. I'm pretty sure he's done something like this. I may have to like... Yeah, I may have to... Okay, so does that mean I can select all? Oh, yes, very nice. I can move it like this. That is neat. Very neat. But it's not quite right. Okay. There we go. That looks so much like the coded version already. How amazing is that? Oh, they're awesome. Alright, I'm going to stop this for the moment. Stop, thank you. Alright. I just want to check something, because again, we're making a replica, right? I just want to check what the rate is between the two versions of the game. So I'm just going to bring up After Realms in VS Code. From the project, the coded version, and I just want to check the animation rate so we can try and get it as close as we can. It looks very similar to. It does look actually very similar to what I've got it here. Let's have a look though. But this is After Realms as it is now. So preload. We've got all that now. We need to go to player. So we've got classes. We have player. Okay. Oh. Now we have animation somewhere because they're hiding it. So create animation. Here we are. Frame rate. Oh my god! I wish Welcome to Settings would just stop opening. Like seriously, I don't need it to open a million years. Player. Frame rate is 10. Now, what does that actually mean, shall we? Frame rate per second. Frames per second. 10. Okay. So, how do we measure that here? I might just watch the video about how he explains this part. I think he's about to here, actually. Let's have a look.
And if we hit play, our character should be doing the idle animation. But obviously that's playing back way too quick. So one way we can fix that is to space out our frames. So if I take all the frames past the first one and I pull them into 5-frame intervals, and this would be assuming 60 frames per second, then we can make the animation play back a bunch slower. There's other places you can actually change that as well. And then I'm going to copy the last frame here and paste it at 20 so that when we get to the 15 frame here, it doesn't immediately go back to the start, but that keeps playing until we're at 20. So now if we hit play, we should have our idle animation playing back a lot more smoothly and consistently. So the first frame, the second frame, the third one, the fourth one, and then the fourth one again, so that we can expand the duration of that fourth frame of animation. So now
So that doesn't really explain what I wanted there exactly. Let's have a look. I mean, he kind of scrapes the surface, but it's something I already knew. Let's check something here. I'm gonna put this over here for a moment. I'm gonna go Unity Animator, set frame rate.
But I'm not done yet.
Okay. Samples. Okay, maybe it's the samples. No, that doesn't make any sense. Oh no. Never mind. That's not what I thought it was. What? I'm so confused. Why are there two of them? Oh, that's a tab. Oh, what about this one? Go sample rate. Here we are. Okay, so what if we did this? Right. Oh, that makes it really slow. Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Alright, let's just back up here. So we've done this thing. Now this is a nice way of doing an animation, I suppose. But, again, we've got a control Y there. We're just gonna... What if we went 10? Okay, so we can... Oh, there we are. There we go. Now it's accurate to the rate, to the frame rate. Cool. Okay. Really happy with that. Cool. Alright, that was fairly easy to work out there, actually. With a bit of research, makes it easy. Alright, so. Oh, I'm trying to fix up my cabling here, what the heck. Alright, now. We've done this animation part. Now we want to do this, I think, with all the animations, don't we? So, let me just check what he does with the rest of that.
we need to create more clips for the other animations. I'm going to click on this drop down, create new clip, and let's type in move.anim. No, I'm storing...
Did he click?
It doesn't immediately go back to the start, but that keeps
Hang on,
frame, the second frame, the third one, fourth, frame of animation. So now we need to create more clips for the other animations. I'm going to click on this drop down, create new clip, and let's...
Oh, that's a drop down. Am I blind? I might be. Drop down, create new clip. Oh, very nice. This is cool. Alright, so now that we've done that, we can go walk. So walk's our next one. It's going to have multiple frames in it. Where is walk? I know that we've got idle first, don't we? Okay. Where's the walk section? The walk down section. Where is it? Here it is. Walk down. Here. And I think that's also going to be 10. I am pretty sure. Let me check the code. I'm pretty sure all of the animations are set to 10. Yes, they are. So we can say 10 is the safe frame rate there. Very nice. All right. So, excellent. Excellent day. Excellent. Boom. Mr. Solo. Rating with a party of 4. Hello, how you going? Hey guys, how are you? Good to have you, Mr. Solo. And friends. Welcome, welcome. I only just started streaming about half an hour ago. So you're not too far off. The start of my stream for today. We are planning to go for quite a number of hours. And we are making After Realms, an TSRPG game. How was your stream, by the way, Mr. Solo? What did you work on? Tell me all about it. I know I'm intimidating, but I trust... you gotta believe me when I say... I am harmless. Okay? I am very harmless. Thank you. It was... it was fun. I did some art. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Let's have a look. What art are you making? Red people. Oh, really? Oh my god, this is taking a long time from loading. Jeez. 2 hours ago. Ah, bread people. Okay. So, just drawing this using a tablet? Hang on, let's just...
I'm actually going to redo the lines on this one to make it look like it's more at an angle. It's a good one. Your mother and father must have lifted weight. What makes you say
if it was
that?
me doing this, I'd certainly be taking a lot longer than
like
the amount of time that you spent on streaming this. It looks like you started from scratch too, so you simply just started this stream and then you finished it. I think, did you finish it?
Ooh, bread dog. No.
Nice. Spoilers, by the way. A hot dog there, of course.
Like, I remember I was playing a
you had to add the hot dog
game, and my
They're not really good. Yeah,
wasn't
right.
working, so I
Yeah,
tried
they look really
shooting
good.
lefty.
It would be really cool, I reckon, if you did like a fast forward video of you doing this. That would be really
I
awesome.
might be able to
And it would
export
like,
a single layer.
everyone can see.
But that's the same as
you can kind of see the
screenshotting,
fast forwardness
so-
there.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Neat.
Now let's find someone to...
Oh, sorry, don't mean to show him. That's a tutorial I'm watching at the moment. Yeah, I reckon it'd be cool. It's the same with coding when people like fast, like they code and then they do like a fast fast video of coding. But it's better when it's drawn because it's just cool. Cooler anyway. Mr. Follow. Solo, thank you for following, really appreciate it. Brilliant. So, we are doing animation at the moment. This is I'm not a graphics designer or an artist in that fashion. I am a game designer. I also mainly do the design and the programming side of the project. I have specific talented people that do the graphics for me and the animations for me. I simply just put it all together into the game. So this is After Realms, and Jalal Gusta, he may or may not be here today. He's having a little trouble with his internet lately. So a shout out to him constantly when I mention the graphics. He designed all the visuals for After Realms here, and if you want to check out a playtest that this particular game was actually done. I uploaded a playtest for it. The playtest is pure code, by the way, so that's this code that you see here. But I'm going to be recreating this, and I am at the moment recreating this whole project in Unity. So I haven't got a lot of Unity experience, but we are learning here and there. So you will find me doing a lot of research on stream. So if I don't know what to do, I will just, on stream live, I will just go and search it up, watch a video or something with the stream, and then we implement that if we don't know. But of course, if I do know, I just do it. Typically, like I haven't done a heap of Unity. I've done some, courses and stuff. So there are some things I know, and there's a lot I don't. So yeah, After Realms, that's basically what we're doing. That's our goal. We're trying to recreate that playtest version as it is, but doing it in Unity, basically. And we're just checking that playtest release. It took me 6 months to release, and I worked on it part-time. If I had worked on it full-time, I would imagine about 2 to 3 months. Had I had the time to do it, work and whatnot on the side, it does become a little bit, a lot more difficult. But we're switching over to Unity because of efficiency, basically. Efficiency and just ease. This game's going to be fairly complicated when it's finished. So yeah, that's what we're currently doing at the moment. So we're at it. We've got the dude in now. We've got the dude in there, and we are working on all the animations and whatnot at the moment. What happened? I clicked off it, and then all of a sudden it just... Okay, I've lost all the animations. What the hell? Okay, I'm really confused. Okay, I'm very confused about that. Let's go create. I might just... Well, I've got them here. What the hell? Can I just, drag them in or something? Let's have a look. Let me just... People. Lord. Materials. No. Idle. Okay. Oh, here we are. These are animations. The animations look really nice, but the bobbing on the side ones look a bit off. The bobbing. Oh, that's the idle animation. Are you talking about the idle animation? What's going on here? How come I can't open this? Open. Okay, so... Alright, I don't understand what Unity is doing right now. No. Okay, okay, so it's got this down here. The walking left and right? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, very early stages at the moment. We are going to be. We'll end up tweaking it. We'll probably fix up a lot of little things as we end up tweaking it. Right now, but we've got. We have. I just for some reason I'm so confused why I lost like all my animations. They're like there, but they're not playing now. Like what? So window animation. Yeah. Can we open an animation with this? That'd be nice. Idle. Oh no, wait, idle's there now. Okay. Well, how come I can't play on it? How come I can't play it? I can't click on anything right now. What? I don't understand. Like, this is not... This is... I've done something. I don't know what it is. Back to the beginning. Can I play it? Why can't I play the thing? Okay, that's... Move property. Well, I'm not doing that. I just don't know why it's not letting me play it from in here now. If I just... Well, I can't. It won't actually play if I do that. So let's just... Idle. Why isn't it letting me play it? I don't know what I've clicked on for this. Frame recording. Preview. Okay, well it's got something down here. Can I close this? Minimize an inspector. Well, I suppose that wouldn't matter. Restore an inspector, yep. What did the dude have? Well, he didn't have that. So... okay, loop time's fine. I just don't know. 8 keyframe. What if I change that? Right. So why can't I still can't play it? Ah. Okay. What? I clicked off the window. That's all I did. I clicked off the window. I didn't click on anything when I did that. I clicked on the game. Okay, now it's letting me play it. Oh, okay. Is it because okay, hang on. Oh, it's because I didn't click on the player. Okay, so I've got to click on the player in the scene for me to do this. Right. Okay, let's go back to 10 frames. That's just me being a noob. Okay. Right. All zoomed in though, which is a bit weird. I'll zoom out a little bit. Just a smidge. I like the idea of using sample rates. So this one, controlling the frame rate, makes it much smoother. Unless, of course, you need something specific. But in this case, I don't need that. All right, so let's go. We've got walk as well, so walk. Okay. The walk works. Have a look. All right, so we need like every direction though, don't we? So we need to rename these animations accordingly. So what we need to do is, so we need to just simply idle. So this is idle down. Idle, walk down. Okay. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna save this one as idle down right. Excellent. The others don't change the name. What the hell? That's a bit weird. Did they actually change in the file structure? Yeah, I did. I changed them. Oh no, I created a new one. Alright. Oh, it's just taking its time. Okay, idle down. Oh, it's alright. Okay, that's interesting. This is all attached to the player. Animator, yeah, alright then. Alright, so we'll do this one. Alright, we'll go get the frames for down right. Idle down right. Doesn't start exactly there actually. Idle down right. There we go. And then 60. There it is. The heavy breather. Oh, that's all good. Can we create a new one? Maybe I've got to I've got to remake those or something. I don't know. They don't seem to be a part of the animation anymore. Yeah. Alright, oh, hang on, is it not? Idle down. Yep. Replace it. Not changing the name of it in here, though. Yeah, because I just changed the name, so it's kicking up a stink about not being able to find certain. Okay. Let's remake this. So idle down. Put you back in here. What? Idle. I want to rename this. I'll come back to it. I think because it's working. For some reason, it's just not renaming it in the animator. Okay. Next, I've got down. I've got oil down. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to do left. So left. Create a section for that. Alright, so animation for left is here. Oh, it's right. What the heck am I doing? Oh, left and right. Yes, I am. I'm not doing it in the right order, am I? So we'll do left. Yeah, left was next on the list. That's why I did it that way. There we go. That's all of them. Put them in there. 10. There we go. Alright. And then after left is right. Nice. Oh, hang on. Did I select all of those frames? How many frames did I put in here? 7. Well, there's 8. What? It's not letting me edit. Why not? Okay, let me just... Yeah. I'll do it again. There we go. That fixed that. Righto, okay. Next we have up. Idle up. Alright. And then we have up, left. There. Okay. Up left. Up right. Alrighty, so now we've got walk down. We'll replace it, why not? Except it's not called that. You know what? What if I deleted them? What if I deleted the ones that are just off? So walk down, so down, idle down and walk down. I might have to remake them. I don't know. Deleting. How to change the name of animation community. How do you rename an animation clip? Open the animation in the inspector. I've got that. Oh. Okay. Length FPS. Fix object name. Oh, here we go. Now it's doing it. Now, yeah, you just picked it up and now it's letting me change it. Excellent. Fix object name. There we go. And walk is actually not with a W, capital W. What the hell? I did not put a capital W on that. Reason it's decided to do it on its own. Open. Walk down. Okay. This is where I'm gonna have to put the clips in. The frames in for this one. Walk down. We want walk down. Oh no. Go. Okay. We also had to fix idle down, didn't we? Oh no, is idle down fixed? Yeah, I think we'll complete that. Cool. Alright, so we'll walk down. Let's for what's the next one on the list actually? Walk down left. Oh, interesting. So walk down left. Down left. Okay. 10. And fixing my microphone there, sorry. Right. Okay, yeah, that's all good. So, excellent. We'll do down right. Down right anim. Walk left anim. I can clear those errors now, actually. Walking left. Walking right. Oops. Frame rate 10. There we are. Now. Walk up. Up left. Up left. Yes. Up right. One. Okay. Idle down. Down right. Left. Right. Up. And I need to create the casting animations as well. It's just going to be one frame, but it's still a frame, right? It's still animation. I'll put the castings in there. Alrighty. But that's looking pretty good. I'll just check these animations out. Okay. Adding casting. What have we got first? Oh, actually, I like to go by order of the whatever the folder system says at the moment for this. We have casting down. Maybe this, and that's it. I'm gonna keep it at 1. Bang! I'm gonna use up too much energy for this one here. Oh. Casting down left. Boom. Casting down right. One. Casting left. Boom. Okay. Casting right. What? Oh, whoops. Whoop. Okay. Let's try that again. I accidentally clicked on the wrong file. There we go. Right. There we go. And up. Yeah, sure. Sure, you're really casting up. Up left. Casting up right. Ah, I've named that wrong. What have I done here? Okay, well, it's no longer in Unity. Alright, let's just create a new one. Upright. Yeah, we do want to replace, so I'm going to have to fix the name of that one. Upright. Go. There we go. Okay. Excellent. All the animations are in. Save. Now, just before I save it again, I'm just going to go and fix the animation name for this. What did he actually, what was the advice there? It was, open the animation in the inspector. Okay. So we've got, we can do it this way. Pretty sure. Where is it? Casting. There it is. Okay. Above the length of 2 years. Pick rename. I opened it. Wow, okay. It doesn't let you rename it. That's a bit weird. Reset, no. Reset. No. That's weird. Okay, well what if I just renamed it in here then? So like, casting upright. Can we rename it here? Yeah. I renamed it here. Upright. Did that give it a space? Up left. Weird how it doesn't have... Alright. Oh, okay. It looked like it's got a space up here, but when you have a look at the file name, it doesn't. Okay. Righto. It's doing it to all of them, apparently. So I can rename it in the inspector, and I think that's okay. If I open up the animation, down right. Hello, I'm back. Welcome back, Tiny Tree. Welcome back. I've just finished putting all the animations in. Check this out. Casting down. Bam. So it's just one frame. For casting down. Casting generally, I should say. Left. Right. Casting. And then idle. Right. It wants to do all the up directions. So this has been an interesting experience for me. I noticed that it's a bit weird though. If you make a mistake with naming it here, you've got to name the file, the actual file down here for Unity to go, oh, okay, you're renaming this. Renaming it in Windows Explorer can create errors, but you can easily fix it if you click on the animation in the editor and then Unity goes, oh, look, the name's different in Windows Explorer. Do you want to fix this? And you just press the fix button and it fixes it. And it fixes it to the name that you've got in the editor, basically, or whatever. So, but it's weird because they don't let you change any of the names here. So I'm thinking like, what? Why can't we can create it here, but we can't like change the name of it here? So I just think that's a little weird. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty good. Also, samples. Samples wasn't here by default. You've got to go like here, show sample rate, so you can just select the sample, how fast you want the animation to go. You know. Yeah, so you don't have to like individually place them. So unless you've got like a specific animation that needs to happen at certain times, you know, certain frames need to happen at certain times or something, or, you know, something like that, you don't need to like do them along the timeline. You can just three dots there. It's got to be the three dots that are along the same line as the timeline here. The one that's up here doesn't have that option. Doesn't have the option to do anything. That's more of the window option. This one here is more of the actual timeline option, and you can say show sample rate. You can even set sample rate if you want, but show sample rate allows you to, you know, defaults to 60, but you can change it to whatever, something slower if you want. And then that just stays there because you opened it. So yeah, pretty neat stuff. I want to put this in here actually. Oh wait, let's just stop the animation for a second. I want to put this up here. Along here. Actually, no I don't. I want to put it up here. I want to put it along here. Animation. Only because of the way that it's sort of laid out and stuff. I'm going to cave project and animation. Until I need it again. In which case I'll probably just make it a window. Honestly. Because I haven't really got enough room to do the rest of them. So... already know. I don't know. Maybe I'll have it up here, like he does it. You know, I don't need to unless I need to look at the timeline specifically. I probably won't need to have it anywhere else. But yeah. Oh, okay. Pretty cool. So I've got animation sorted out here. You had to separate them all. Oh, okay. Yeah, I worked that up. So there's got to be an easy way to do this. How do you set the frame rate of an animation? So because you can set it in phaser, so that's exactly the same as phaser now. So these animations, neat stuff. All right, what are we doing next? Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing before I have a 15-minute break because I do need a little break. I've been sitting at the computer a little bit this morning, even though I haven't been streaming. We'll come back and we'll continue because we're going until this afternoon. Get the stuff done. Very nice. Alright, so the next thing, where is he? Where's the dude? Where's Chris Tutorials? Here he is.
Should have our idle animation playing back a lot more smoothly and consistently. So
this is something that Chris didn't show you. He didn't show you how to put the sample right there. He showed you how to place the frames on the timeline and play it, and how to separate it, but not actually add it. So, thanks, Chris, for not telling us that information. But no, his tutorial is very useful. Let's continue
first frame,
watching.
the second frame, the
Let's continue watching him.
third one, the fourth one, and then the fourth one again, so that we can expand the duration of that fourth frame of animation. So now we need to create more clips for the other animations. I'm going to click on this drop down, create new clip, and let's type in move.anim.
Okay, so we have done this. Creating a prefab for the character. Okay, yeah, he's going to show us some pretty cool stuff here. I know how to create a prefab, but I'm gonna follow the rest of the tutorial and get it done for After Realms. I just want to see how he adds all these animations. There might be an easier way.
No, I'm storing all of these animations also in the same folder, assets, characters, slime. So this is in the same folder that's going to have the prefab game object, the character itself, the art assets, and now the animations. Just keeping everything in one place. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save here. And now let's grab the second, and now let's grab frames 5 through 8 for the movement, put them in here, and figure out how much we need to space it, presumably. So I'm just going to keep spacing these animation frames.
He may not have known himself, you know that?
Every 5 frames of playback. So same kind of thing here. We have the move. Our first animation frame is here at 0, 0. The second one is at 0, 5, and then 0, 10, 0, 15, 0, 20. And at that speed, it looks pretty close to how it should actually play back. So next we have the Pert Animation. So same thing. So here we have our first 8 frames, which we've already used, and then it looks like these 5 are actually for attack. So we'll come back to Hurt. Right now I'll create the attack animation. And let's grab these 5 frames, pull them in here. Okay, zoom in a bit. And same kind of deal, we just gotta space these out, however fast we want them to play back. And then I'm gonna copy this one more time. And then I'm gonna copy the final frame and put it at 0.25 frames. And then we have our attack animation. So we can go back to move, make sure that is working nicely as well. Now, according to the archive, there's 4 frames for Hurt, so I believe that will come after the attack. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 for Hurt. Let's put it in there, space out the image frames, and let's hit play. Okay, and then finally the death animation. So this is the final 4 frames. Let's grab them, pop them in here, space out the animation frames, copy the last one and paste it into 0.20. And there we have our final animation.
So it's very comprehensive. He goes through the entire thing step by step. He doesn't just skip it. I mean, he does it a little bit. He skips how he kind of spaces them out, but not until he shows you the first time, which is nice.
At this point, we've imported the sprites for a character game object into our game. We've set up all 5 of the animations. And we can take this game object and use it as a prefab in our game, basically a object that exists inside of our assets that we can copy into any scene. Likely you're going to need to duplicate
an object, Chris.
An enemy like a slime many times, so it makes sense to have a prefab. So I'm just going to drag this into our slime folder, and then that creates the prefab. Now anytime we need a new slime, we can just drag that into a scene just like that.
It's that simple. Prefabs are that simple. I just had a similar problem with your samples. I had to install an extra package while doing rules, rule tiles, and he didn't show me that I needed to go into project settings and turn on preview packages. So the thing is with Unity though is that it does update, but there's still things that there's things that are easier. I think that I believe, like this was posted when 3rd of May last year. I'm pretty sure samples was in there by then. So yeah, it's funny how some people don't tell you things. I'm thinking personally, the way that he did that, he didn't know. He didn't know that he can go to the 3 dots and show the sample rate. I reckon Unity needs to just make that a default, honestly. Because that's a lot of people typically, I mean, depends on the design or what they're going for, but I reckon just having, what's wrong with having the samples opened? Like, why not? You know, like, it doesn't take up any space. Like, look at this. Look at this window. It doesn't take up any space at all. Where is it? There. Pretty much. I mean, the window does. But, I mean, look at samples, right? Now, if you don't have samples there, look. Like, it's just, it's not, like, encumbersome. It's not encumbersome whatsoever. Maybe the name of the animation might be a bit short, but seriously, like, there's a fair bit of space there. So, Unity, please, just make things simple. Make things simple for the rest of us, and especially for the people that are showing us what to do.
Easy peasy. So
I want to do this prefab thing though. Let's do that. All right. So we've got player. I'm actually going to change the name of this. We're going to change this. No, we're not changing it. Sorry, no. I told a lie. Okay, we're not changing this. We're going to keep it as player for now, because that's what we've got in the previous example. Later on, I may specify the differences, but player is player. This is what the player is going to be using. And then we're going to have, like, the enemy and all that kind of stuff later on. But at the moment, cool. He's a pretty big person too, isn't he? He's pretty big. Actually, I don't think I've got him to scale here. Yeah, I've got him out of whack. Out of absolute whack. Right here. There we go. If I go 10. 10. Look at that. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Okay. Uh-huh. Yep. God, I reckon this is just a bit too big, don't you think? This is definitely too big. Now, imagine like using him. He'd be like a boss size. And this other dude's the player. No, I'm gonna just Control Z all that. But good to know that you can just put in a prefab. Like, I'm sorry, like, my course made it very complicated, right? When I did this, and the reason why I'm sort of doing that is because it just shows you how simple it is. Like, you've got if you're building your character, you've got you right here. So everything in terms of this character is here, right? So it's just funny. Like, he literally showed and explained it in just 3 seconds.
Need a new slime? We could just drag that in.
Explained it like prefabs. What's a prefab? You know, insert an essay of explanation and then confuse the person that I'm showing. He just did
do a scene just like
shows.
that. Easy
peasy. See, that's the word. Easy peasy.
So just finally, we're not going to get into setting up the animation state machine. And
see, look at this.
So at this point, we've imported the sprites for a character game object into our game. We've set up all 5 of the animations, and we can take this game object and use it as a prefab in our game. Basically, a object that exists inside of our assets that we can copy into any scene. Likely, you're going to need to duplicate an enemy like a slime many times, so it makes sense to have a prefab. So I'm just going to drag this into our slime folder, and then that creates the prefab. Now, anytime we need a new slime, we can just drag that into a scene just like that. Easy peasy.
See, that is it. That's all it was. That's how you make a prefab in Unity. Fantastic. It's a bit more complicated in Phaser. I spend ages trying to work out how classes work and then do it that way.
So just finally, we're not going to get into setting up the animation state machine in this video, but if you go down to Window, Animation, and then Animator, then you'll have this new window with all 5 of the animations that we just created. And it's here where you can set up the conditions for when your character should switch from one animation to another. So for instance, you could make a transition from idle to hurt, and then you click on your transition, you add a condition, and maybe your condition is a parameter over here, which could be something like is a trigger, hurt. And then in your actual code, whenever the slime takes damage, then you would set this property to be triggered. And then you can have the conditions hurt as a condition for going from idle to hurt. And then that'll allow this animation to play. Then you can just make a transition back when that's done and return to idle or return to move, depending on other conditions for your character. So obviously that's going to be more of the logic and coding side of putting your character inside of the game. But at least for importing a basic character into here, another thing you're likely going to need for all of your characters is going to be a 2D rigid body, or 3D if you happen to be making a 3D game. So if you search in components, rigid body 2D, you can add that in here. So really quickly, a dynamic rigid body can be affected by forces. So it would be where you add basically a force vector to your character, like 500 units of arbitrary force in this direction, and then this system here is going to determine how the character should move and at what velocity. But in typical 2D platform and pixel art games, it would be more common to use a kinematic rigid body, where the movement of this character is going to be determined from script rather than forces acting in a physics engine. So ultimately, you may decide to go with a kinematic body, and then in script, you can tell it how it should move based on whatever state the character is in. And the states often are going to be based on these animation states over here. But also, if you want a rigid body to be able to collide with anything, to stop moving if it hits a wall or another character, then you're going to need a collision shape. So we can go to Add Component, and I'll put in a Capsule Collider here. Pretty common for characters. So Capsule Collider 2D for a 2D game. Then you can edit Collider down here and set the shape of the collider to be roughly the shape of your character. So in order to make it a horizontal capsule, we're going to have to rotate it a bit. So let's go to direction and make it horizontal. So right now our capsule collider is a bit of a circle. We want it to be a horizontal and then vertically capsule. So I'm going to change the direction from vertical to horizontal so that we can shrink it vertically. And I'm going to go to Edit Collider mode, and we'll just shrink this until it matches the shape of our character. So these two things working together, if we put it in dynamic rigid body mode, it should be able to be affected by gravity, and the character should stop if it hits the ground. So let me just add a completely unrelated object to stop it from moving around. We'll add a little slime here, but I'm going to change its color to red so that we can tell it's different. Now this is a slime, but we're just going to make it a static object. So in Add Component.
Okay, I don't think the rest of this is going to be relevant to After Realms. It was good to know some of this stuff, but we're gonna add collision a little differently. All right. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna have a break first. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna learn how to script movement. We're gonna get this guy to move, and yeah, I'll find some way of adding some kind of collider to the edge of the map after that, and to the water, and then we can move on to probably getting the spells done after that, then adding the monsters and all that kind of stuff. So it should be fairly straightforward, hopefully. All right, I'll be back, guys. I'll just BRB 15 minutes. And here we are. Here we are. Oh my goodness. What happened while I was gone? Anything exciting happen? Yay, I got the rule tile set working. Really? Wow. Didn't take that long for you to work that one out. If you're still there, Tiny Tree, let me know how you... Can you show me what you mean by whatever the hell? This is... Yes, I know you're there, mate. I know you're there. Go on. It's almost feed time for you. Okay. Little boy. Off we go. Alright. Okay, so. We have inserted the animations. Alrighty. I was fixing up some extra things on my end here. Alrighty, so what we want to do next. We want to add the movement and stuff, don't we? Let me just check. I do have. How can we do this? So we've got the animations in. I need to know how to put all this together. Let me just see if I can find a better resource than my notes, because my notes don't really. I don't talk about how to add movement, which is something we'll do. But I also want to add I also want to activate the animations. I think I actually do have a notes on that. Oh God, no, I don't. I haven't done any animation stuff yet. Let me have a look. I have a feeling I have. I've done something with the animations. I'm such a noob. Okay. Still looking for these notes. Here they are. I think I did actually jot down. What? Don't tell me more apps. We could open up this with Visual Studio. Damn it. Visual Studio Code. Yes, open it up. Evans. Animation. Is that it? Wow. No. I don't think I've done this yet. Alright, so let's learn how to do this firsthand. Pert Animation in Unity. This sounds pretty good. Rockies.
So when it comes time to start adding
Actually, yes, I have seen this, but let's just watch it again. We'll follow the instructions this time.
animation to your game, there are really two
Actually, no, I haven't. Never mind.
primary ways to go about it. The first one, and probably the most commonly used, is sprite sheet animation. This is also the technique that most people recognize from traditional animated movies, because it simply means drawing a bunch of images, each with a tiny bit of movement, and then playing them back by quickly displaying them one by one. Our character from the previous video on 2D movement already has sprite sheet animation set up in exactly this way, so that's what we're going to be using for this video. But first, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 22,000 quality classes on game development, tech, and more. If, for example, you want to learn how to create your own custom game art, I really suggest checking out this awesome course on the fundamentals of creating
An ad.
pixel art for games. It's a really well structured and visual course that I personally really enjoyed. A premium Skillshare membership gives you unlimited access to all classes for less than $10 a month. So to get started, simply click the link in the description and the first 500 people will receive their first 2 months for free. Also, special thanks to Michael Neely, Clinton Fanskiwa, Andrew Kalinenko, Cheetah3D and Alexander Blair for their support on Patreon. And I think we're now ready to start animating our character. However, there is another approach that I think you should at least be familiar with, and that is skeletal animation. As the name suggests, this animation technique works by binding bones to our sprites, which will then move and distort the images as we drag the bones around. The cool thing about this particular workflow is that it allows us to draw our character only once and then animate him fully inside of Unity. If you want to try out skeletal animation, Unity has a free asset on the asset store called Animate 2D that should help you get started. And definitely let us know if this is something that you would like to see a dedicated video on. Alright, enough talking, let's start animating. So we're here in the same scene as when we did our 2D movement. You can of course use any scene and character that you'd like. In this one we're able to move and jump around as well as crouch beneath platforms. But of course currently we have no animations in here. To change this, let's start by setting up some animation clips. To do this, we'll go to our scene view and select our player. We'll then open up our animation window. So we'll go under Window, Animation, and select Animation. And as you can see, it tells us that to begin animating the player, we need to create both an animator and an animation clip.
Some of this we already know, but we're going to wait until we get to the coding section, I guess, whatever it is. So it's a bit of a good heavens, bit of a long one, but let's just see. We just need to understand exactly at what point to set this up. I'm pretty sure I can do scripting now, but just making sure of that.
We'll talk about the difference between the two in a sec. For now, let's just hit create. And now we can choose where we want to save our animation. Let's right click and create a separate folder for this. And let's call it animation. Let's then double click this
I could probably speed through this one.
folder. And let's also rename this animation file to something like player. And then underscore the animation that we want to work on. This could be run, jump, or die. In our case, let's start with an idle animation. In other words, the animation that the player plays when he isn't really doing anything. We can then press save. So now we have this empty timeline here where we can drag in our animation sprites. Of course, the great thing about our character here is that he already comes with a bunch of images that we can use. So let's go under Sunnyland. And of course, if you want to download any of this, I will have a link for that in the description. We then go under artwork, sprites, and under the player, we can see that the sprites are split up into animation folders. So let's start by going under the idle folder. And here are 4 different images. If we just try and select one of them, we can see a preview in the bottom right here. Of course, it's pretty tiny, but if I go ahead and move through the images, we can see that they are indeed animating our character. So let's try and select all 4 sprites, and let's simply click and drag them into our animation window. And right away, we can see that 4 keyframes has been added. We can also see that if I hit play, the animation plays ridiculously fast. The reason for this is that we need to change the amount of images that are displayed each second. Currently our samples are set to 60. A pretty standard value to use here is something like 12. We can see if we now play through, the animation looks much better. And we can even scrub through it using this timeline marker. And if we wanted to say move around a few images, we can of course do that by simply clicking and dragging, or just press delete in order to remove one. But I'm just gonna leave my animation as is. Let's go ahead and set up a few other ones while we at it. Let's go to where it says player idle here, and let's hit create new clip. Again, we want to make sure we do this inside the animation folder. And this time let's create one called player _run. Now let's go under our run folder, let's select all of our sprites and drag them in. Again, we want to decrease our samples to 12, and if we now hit play, we can see our character is running. Let's quickly do this for the crouch animation as well. So player _crouch, we'll go into the crouch folder, select both of them and drag them in. Again, we'll set the samples to 12. Again, the animation plays fine. And finally, let's add our jump animation. Player _jump, we'll go into the jump folder, select both sprites, drag them in, change the samples to 12. And if we try and play this one, we'll notice that it looks kind of weird. The reason is that our jump animation is made up of only 2 keyframes, one for when we're going upwards and one for when we're falling back down. Now we could of course go in and create these as 2 different animations. However, I think that's just overcomplicating things. Instead, I'm just going to go in and change the samples to a much lower value like 2. I think this is going to change our sprite around the time when we're at the peak of our jump, but we'll see that later. So now we've set up all 4 animation clips. And if we go into the animation folder, we can see all of them here. Player idle, player crouch, run, and jump. And we can also see another file here, simply called player, which has a different icon. This is what we call the animator controller. The animator controller is called a controller because it controls what animations to play. If we double click this, it's going to open up in our animator window.
Okay, stop. I'm going to slow it down here.
So here we notice that one of our windows is called animation. This is where we create our
Click on the animation controller. Right here. Let's have a look at that. People. Board. Hang on. I'm a bit confused. Do I have an animation controller in here? Don't think so. Although I can't see it. What does the animation controller look like again? Player, okay. There it is. Controller. Aha! Got it. So how come that's not showing up here though? A bit weird. It's not showing up any other files here. It's only showing the folders. That's properties. No. Project. Yep, come on today, mate. Come on. Oops. Okay, so it's a bit weird, but for some reason I can't see the files like he's got in on that one. Properties. No, that's not it. Is it in it's good. I wonder if it's in settings or something. Preferences. Set pipeline. Scene view. No. Something about project perhaps. Load previous project. There doesn't seem to be any kind of so it's only showing me the folders on the side here, not anything else, and I think that's not something I can change. Scene view, no, not that. Okay. I'll just have to put up with that, I guess, but this is fine. Although I thought I could change it. But number of hidden packages, click toggle hidden packages visibility. If I press on that, does it show? Okay. It's not letting me show it. Weird. Alright. Whatever. Alright, so anyway, we've got the animation control up. What do we do now?
Actual animations, and another one is called the Animator, because this is where we choose what animations we want to play. And in here we can also see that it's already added our 4 animation clips. We can now drag these around.
Which in my case is all the animations, which I can't seem to. That's a bit weird. How did he navigate this window? Can't seem to navigate it. Wow. So I can't right click, but what's he doing?
Around. Notice that one of our windows is called Animation. This is where we create our actual animations. And another one is called the Animator, because this is where we choose what animations we want to play. And in here we can also see that it's...
Yeah, he's clicked on it. I don't know what the go is there. Okay. Weird. How come I can't, like, pan around here? Oh, hang on. I've got to use my middle mouse button. Oh, that's so weird. You can use your right one more in a scene, but you've got to use the middle one for everything else. Righto. Okay. Right, so these are all my animations. Right, okay. Next.
It's already added our 4 animation clips. We can now drag these around and arrange them in any way that we would like. And if for some reason one of them isn't in here for you, you can always take an animation clip from the project and simply drag it in. And you can of course also select and remove them.
Right, so if that's... Oh, that might be the project's... If the project gets compacted too much, maybe that's what happens. Don't know. I'll put this in right here. Right. Let's go entry. We'll go from like the top and do like a little flow chart or something. And then this will be like player input. Walk. For some reason walk is just walk and nothing else. Why is that? I think this is walk down. Yeah, walk down. This will be like player controls. This one is idle down. Hold down. Right. Just going to organize these animations a little bit, I guess, for future. Idle, right. Up. Walk down, Model up left. Up right. Down left. Oh, that's walk. I don't know how good this is going to be the way I'm actually organizing all of this, but I'm sure it will work out with some minor tweaks perhaps. Walk up. Oh, okay. What if I did this? Walk upright. Casting. Oh, yeah. Again. Gaps maybe. Casting down left. Casting left. Right. Right. Okay. Ugh. Not sure what to do with these two yet. I guess we'll work that out in a moment. I'm just going to save my project before I forget and continue watching this video.
You'll notice here that currently the player idle is marked as orange, and it's connected with this arrow going from the green entry state. The reason for this is that the idle animation is currently our default animation. In other words, it's what will begin playing right when we start our game. So if we were to now hit play, we can see indeed our player starts playing the idle animation right away. And even though we move around and jump and try and crouch, it's just gonna keep playing idle. In fact, if we select our player and go under the animator, we can see the animation looping right here. So let's stop playing, and we can now start to create transitions from the idle animation to the other clips. By the way, if you want to set another animation as the default, we can always right click and hit set as layer default state. And that's simply going to change it. So whenever we start running, we of course want to change from the idle animation to our run animation. And we do this using what is called a transition. So if we take our player run here and just place it underneath our idle animation, we then right click on our idle and hit make transition. And we now get this arrow that we can drag out to the other animation clips. If we then click player run, we've created a transition from our idle to our run animation. And if we select this transition, we can change when and how we want it to occur. So the first thing that we need here is to add a condition, because we don't want our transition to just play right away. We only want it to play in the case that we're actually moving. But currently our animator has no idea whether our character is moving or not. To change this, we use something called a parameter. So if we go to the left here, we can see that we have two tabs, layers and parameters. We want to go...
Hang on, let me just check to make sure I've got those windows. Ah, yes I do. I just need to make this a bit smaller, make this a bit larger like that now. Okay, so layers and parameters, yep, okay. Okay! Let's have a look.
Go under parameters and hit the plus sign, and here we can now create a new parameter. We're going to create a float, and this float is going to represent our player's speed. So we'll call it speed, and we'll just default it to 0. Then under our condition, we can now hit the plus sign to create a new condition on our transition. And here we can say that we only want to transition to our run animation if our speed is greater than, and it will just input some small number like 0.01. In other words, if we start moving, well then we want to transition to a run animation. We also want to go in here and make sure that this transition is immediate. In other words, we don't want something called exit time, where we wait for the animation to stop playing before we start playing a new one. No, we simply want to transition as soon as we start moving. So I'm simply going to disable that. Let's also go under settings, and here we can choose the duration of our transition. This is not something that you often use when creating 2D games, but it's used all the time to blend between animations in 3D games. But for us, again, we want this to be completely immediate, so we'll go in and set the transition duration to 0. Of course, we also want to be able to transition back from our run animation. Currently, we will only be able to go from our idle to run, and then even though we stop moving, it will still play our run animation. So we'll go in here and right click and make a new transition. This one is going to go to idle. Let's select our transition and add a new condition. This time we only want to transition if the speed is less than, and then we'll again add a tiny number here, so 0.01. Again, we don't want any exit time, and under settings we'll set the transition duration to 0. And now our animator should actually work with these two animations. In fact, if we take our animator and dog it to the right here, and then try to hit play, we can see that by default it plays the idle animation, but if I then go and change the speed, say set it to 1, our character starts running, and as soon as I set it back to 0, he goes right back to idling. So now all we need to do is change this speed parameter through our play. We can see that by default it plays the idle animation, but if I then go and change the speed, say set it to 1, our character starts running, and as soon as I set it back to 0, he goes right back to idling. So now all we need to do is change this speed parameter through our script, and that is actually fairly easy. So if we now select our player, and if you haven't watched the video where we set up player movement, we're basically using two scripts. One is the character controller that takes care of all the physics that go into making our character move, and the second one is a much simpler player movement script where we simply tell the player when to move and at what speed. So let's go ahead and open up this player movement script.
Okay, we're going a bit too far ahead. I just want to go back a bit. I just wanted to see what the hell we want. He's doing a platformer, so this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to set certain transitions for certain things, I think, because we're looking at an 8-directional movement, and not just a, left and right. So, yeah.
Actually moving, but currently.
So let's just learn how to. I'm just gonna learn how to sort this out here. I think we're a bit too far back.
To the other clips. By the way, if you want to set another animation as the default, we can always right click and hit set as layer default state. And that's simply going to change it. So whenever we start running, we of course want to change from the idle animation to our run animation. And we do this using what is called a transition. So if we take our player run here and just place it underneath our idle animation, we then right click on our idle and hit make transition. And we now get this arrow that we can drag out to the other animation clips. If we then click player run, we've created a transition from our idle to our run animation. And if we select this transition, we can change when and how we want it to occur. So the first thing that we need here is to add a condition, because we don't want our transition to just play right away. We only want it to play in the case that we're actually moving. But currently our animator has no idea whether our character is moving or not. To change this, we use something called a parameter. So if we go to the left here, we can see that we have two tabs, layers and parameters. We want to go under parameters and hit the plus sign, and here we can now create a new parameter. We're going to create a float, and this float is going to represent our player's speed.
Okay, this is interesting. I suppose I could set it up kind of how I've done it in Phaser for my project. Let's have a look again. Open up Visual Studio Code. Might take a moment. Okay, something. Alright, that's better. Let's have a look. So how are we doing the animation management? Animation management walking. Okay, it was just a simple they're just simple booleans. Okay, we could probably do something like this. I don't see the issue there. Speed is something, but I think we need direction as well. That's the thing. I think we're going to need direction. So, you know, for example, if moving down and moving, you know, not moving left, not moving right, all that kind of stuff. There's 4 directions. This little bit of code just governs that. So we could do a similar thing in here. So we'll go B is moving left. B is moving right. Oh, I did down, left, right, up. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. B is moving down. B is moving up. Oh, what happened? What happened to all my animations? What happened? Oh, that's the base layer. Okay. But aren't they parameters? Oh no, they're not. They're layers. Whoops. Okay, no worries. Well, let's just stick with the base layer for the moment. Because I don't think we need to make it that complicated. I thought I was making parameters. God, I'm such a noob. Let's try. Let's try again. It's moving left. Boolean B is moving right. B is moving down. B is moving up. Okay. Alright, so what does he do from there?
Change when and here we can now create a new parameter. We're going to create a float, and this float is going to represent our player's speed. So we'll call it speed, and we'll just default it to 0. Then under our condition, we can now hit the plus sign to create a new condition on our transition. And you can say that we only want to transition to our run animation if our speed is greater than, and it will just input some small number like 0.01. In other words, if we start moving, well then we want to transition to a run animation. We also want to go in here and make sure that this transition is immediate. In other words, we don't want something called exit time, where we wait for the animation to stop playing before we stop playing a new one. No, we simply want to transition as soon as we start moving. So I'm simply going to disable that. Let's also go under settings, and here we can choose the duration of our transition. This is not something that you often use when creating 2D games, but it's used all the time to blend between animations in 3D games. But for us, again, we want this to be completely immediate, so we'll go in and set the transition duration to 0. Of course, we also want to be able to transition back from our run animation. Currently, we will only be able to go from our idle to run, and then even though we stop moving, it will still play our run animation. So we'll go in here and right click and make a new transition. This one is going to go to idle. Let's select our transition and add a new condition. This time we only want to transition if the speed is less than, and then we'll again add a tiny number here, so 0.01. Again, we don't want any exit time, and under settings we'll set the transition duration to 0. And now our animator should actually work with these two animations. In fact, if we take our our animator and dog it to the right here, and then try to hit play, we can see that by default it plays the idle animation. But if I then go and change the speed, say set it to 1, our character starts running. And as soon as I set it back to 0, he goes right back to idling. So now all we need to do is change this speed parameter through our script. And that is...
Alright, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to organize all these conditions first. Okay, so now idling's interesting. So because every single idle has its own thing, so I may have to restructure this. So for example, when the player finishes idling in the right direction, or finishes walking in the right direction, they will start moving right. Oh, they'll idle right, basically is what I'm trying to say. They'll idle right. But if they start moving in the left direction and they stop, then they need to idle left. Hey Zarath, how you going, mate? Just popped in and thought one of my tabs was auto playing Brackies. Sorry, I didn't mean to be confusing there. I'm just trying to follow a tutorial on my end and I'm sharing that. Didn't mean to confuse you there. That was definitely me. So, yeah. Oh. But I'm gonna have to organize this. So we're just doing animation, and I haven't done anything like this before. So yeah, I'm following instructions to a point, but I'm doing it a little differently to the tutorial. Reason being is because the way that we've made, the way we've kind of made by After Realms so far is just basing it off booleans instead of values, like integer values. What's going on with my goddamn body, man? Boom! There we are. Okay, it's all good. How's it going? Yeah, good. We're making some really good progress. We're actually adding the animations. So we added the animations before, so the player can now, you know, run and all that. And we've got idling. We've got all these animations. So idling, casting, walking. So all that, we've just put it into the editor. We haven't got to the coding section yet of this. We're about to, I think, with the way we're sort of doing, because we've got to do, you know, player control and all that kind of stuff for this. But I thought I'd put the animations in first before we got into that. But yeah, progressing well. It is a bit slow on my end, but mainly because I'm still new to using Unity. But I mean, this would still be faster in comparison to learning how to code. Just a moment, sorry. Okay. Right. So we're on this animator here, and we're gonna just organize basically this properly. I was doing that initially, but then we had to. We're now doing it a little differently. So everything's based. Everything's going to be based around, I think, the idle animations. So what I might do is I might put those over there for a sec. I'm going to put all the idle animations in a single line. Something. Or have their own. Okay. This is going to be a bit. This is weird. This is a bit encumbersome here, visually, for a second. But I just want to put this. I'm going to put this like. So initially it was here, right? I want to put this probably up here or something. Let's put it up here. Up. It's going to be up there. We're going to have up right here. Okay, so we've got lots of space going on between them. Idle down will stay there. We've got left, we'll move left out. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring this back a bit more. I don't want to spread them out too much. When I do this, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, Diesel. There's no one there, mate. Jeez. Woof, woof, woof. Idle right. Yeah, we'll move that back in. Yeah, here. Alright, I just gotta check on something. Give me a sec. Hey, Brenna, how you going? Won't be long. I just gotta check on something with the dog. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Jeez. What's up? Okay. How you going? Welcome to the stream, bro. So basically, I've just put all the animations in, and the character prefab as well. So we've got the players now are prefab. We can see the player in our game. All the animations are associated with the player. We're just organizing those animations, and very soon we'll get into coding the animations and the movement as well. So we're going to do that at the same time. I'm just organizing this visual matrix here, which looks pretty cool. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So what? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that can come down there. And this is where things are going to get a little weird. I'm going to select all this. I'm going to move it down. Because I've got walk. I'm going to have walk around the idle. So the idle's the base animation for your character. You know, when your character isn't doing anything, it's just going to automatically go to idle. So if you're not walking, you're not casting a spell, you know, you're going to go to the idle state. So I'm making space to organize idle accordingly. So I'm just trying to find them all. I think I don't really have them all here. It's a bit weird. So we've got, okay, so idle down. Idle down. And we'll get entry, make entry just above that, like that. Idle down. Trouble is with this is I don't know where is it? Idle left, idle up left, up right. Where's down left? Where's the down left animation? Walk up left, walk up, walk up. Yeah, this is all walking. Where's down left? What the heck? Idle down left. Did I not make that? I was certain I made that. Okay, let's just save it where it is for the moment. I'm gonna just pop over to the character. Animation. The animator. I need to check this. Scene. Oh, I haven't. Wow. Alright, idle down left. How did I miss this? Oh my god. My god, Diesel. Down left is what we want. So idle down left. I think this is it here. Yeah, it just starts here. Okay. Goes to there. Alright, now we'll put this in the animator. And we'll change the frame rate to 10. Now if we play it, it's working. But, oh, I can't believe I missed this. Okay, I did miss it. Wow, I can't believe I missed it. Okay, all good, all good. Just as well I ran into that issue. Oh, we'd have a no down left animation. It'd just be stuck. I would have come across that problem eventually. Now that I've got that in there, it's popped it in the middle down here, righto. So we'll just put this one somewhat neat and tidy here. So basically, around each of these are going to be like, you know, certain things associated with that animation. So we just needed a bit of space around them. I've probably given it too much space, but you know. So walk up left, for example. Walk up. Let's go walk up. Okay, so let's move walk up. So walk up is going to be here. Give it a bit of space. So idle up, walk up. Something like that, you know what I mean? And so around, it will just be like a little wheel around the idle for everything. And that will allow us to add, you know, additional animations and everything else. You know, if we want to do other types of animations or whatever for that particular direction, if it's directional animations, that is, you know, we can always organize that in a certain fashion. So, yeah. And we can clearly see, when we come to this screen, we can clearly see everything that way. So, we'll just organize all of this accordingly. So walk up left. So up left is next. Up left would be, God, it's a bit different. Navigating this is, the controls on this is a bit different. If you right click, you come up with all these options, but you've got to use the middle mouse button to sort of navigate. Unlike the scene view where you've got to, you know, you can use your right click to navigate around, like pan around. That's why it had me so confused when I first opened this window. I was like, What's going on here? How come I can't move anything? Everyone on the videos, it's like, oh yeah, just pan around. Make these neat and tidy. I like neat and tidy. Neat and tidy is nice. Down left. Walk left. Walk down. So we've got idle down. So we're gonna put this probably to the side because that's an entry. So I'm gonna put this up here. There. Is this an animation? These are all the animations. So basically, what we're seeing here are all the animations for the player, and we're simply just putting all these animations in on the one layer. You apparently can make multiple layers for different things. You could possibly make different layers for different animation concepts, if you wanted to. I'm just putting it all in all on one layer at the moment. So I can come here. I can, which direction are we looking at? Oh, yep, we can click on that and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be too complicated because it is. It does look a bit complex, but it's not going to be. Oops, what am I doing? It's not going to be too complicated because it is a 2D game. I'm expecting 3D games might require multiple layers, but I don't know how to make 3D animation yet in Unity. That's another story. So down right will be the first animation. So the first animation I'm putting above is above the idle. The second one will be to the side a bit or something like that. I've got this entry here. And the reason I've got this entry here is because why is the entry block's actually really small in comparison to the idle animation. Bring that up a bit. Yeah. So. No! Oh. Bloody barking. Every 5 minutes for nothing. Oh no. Someone is here. Never mind. So, idle down. Yeah, so I'm just going to be using this one layer, basically, for all the animations and how we're going to be managing all that. So I've just given a fair bit of space in between all of them. And we're gonna give them all wheels, basically, like wheels. All right, close my door for a sec. Happens when we get visitors. They get too excited. For a while, anyway. Are you thirsty? That's an interesting question. I am currently I do have a glass of Mountain Dew next to me. It should be water, but I've got Mountain Dew at the moment. It will probably transition to water after this glass. So, why are you asking? I am curious with this question. Highly suspicious, but curious all the same. Hydrate, yes. Here we are. There we go. I did drink. You heard it. I'm planning on upgrading my avatar, by the way. Just a heads up. I might be able to even provide additional assets there.
Close enough.
Walk right. it off a bit. Okay. So, do I have all my walking in the right place? I think I do. Here you go. What do you mean? Oh, are you linking me something? Thanks for the bones, by the way. I really enjoy golden bones. For everyone that's watching, you're gonna get golden bones. Please do feel free to spend it on what you on the little shop I've got. I am planning on adding eventually more stuff to the channel points system, but I very much appreciate the redemptions. Okay, so we have casting as the next thing. So up left. So up left will be here. Be a bit of extra space. Oh, that's a bit weird. Not enough space. I might need to do something like this actually. Now bring them in a bit closer. Bring them in a bit closer. Gonna hurt it. Oh, that one's a bit closer. Yeah. Okay. So it was just the top ones that weren't close enough to each other. Yeah. All right. Casting up. Moving. Casting up. Here. Casting upright. Did you remember me? What do you mean? Of course I remember you. I met you the other day. Where are you? Oh, yes, I do. Yep. Yeah, you asked about Sign Machine, which I think is interesting. I follow the player like a third person. I actually wanted to do a similar thing for After Realms that way, but it's going to be a top-down. So the camera's going to follow the person. Casting upright. Go. Casting down left. Down left. Entry. Entry needs to be like here or something. Something in the abyss. Just a little bit. Just so it's not in the way of what's going on here. Casting left. Left. Okay. Here is casting left. Casting down. Okay. Casting right. Ah, other way. Yeah, by the way, Bruno, have you posted your progress yet? Have you shared your progress? You can share your progress, by the way. So, like, if you're working on a project yourself, happy to check it out. If you want me to check it out on stream, send it to me on the stream chat. But if you want to check it, if you want to post it on there for everyone else to check it out, you're welcome to. Most welcome to do that. that links for everyone, by the way. But yeah, sign machine, interesting. Okay, I think I've sorted this out in a way I want it to be. So we'll keep that the way it is. Alright, now we want transitions, don't we, between these? So idle down. So oh, I don't know how this is gonna go, eh? Make transition. Simply just going to be that. I might be able to manage the rest in code, like to go between different directions, but maybe I'll have a look. Let's have a look here. Tile paint vector is what we want. So conditions would be for this one. It would be okay. So we're going to have to add like all of these conditions here because we need to keep track of how we're sort of doing. So if we're not walking down, but if we also need to be making sure we're not moving everywhere else as well. So left, right, up, down. 3D games are generally complicated, but I think I can do it. Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of tutorials and resources out there, man. Even courses. I can show you how to do all of it. So do not fear what you do not know. I don't know how this is going to work. If this is... Okay, so is this saying like if you're currently walking down and then this is happening, settings, I want this to be 0. I don't understand exit time. He did explain that. Let me just check this. I'm just going to play this video a little bit again. Where he fiddles with the side options. Here.
Transition from our idle to our run animation. And if we select this transition, we can change when and how we want it to occur. So the first thing that we need here is to add a condition, because we don't want our transition to just play right away. We only want it to play in the case that we're actually moving. But currently our animator has no idea whether our character is moving or not. To change this, we use something called a parameter. So if we go to the left here, we can see that we have 2 tabs, layers and parameters. We want to go under parameters and hit the plus sign. And here we can now create a new parameter. We're going to create a float, and this float is going to represent our player's speed. So we'll call it speed, and we'll just default it to 0. Then under our condition, we can now hit the plus sign to create a new condition on our transition. And here we can say that we only want to transition to our run animation if our speed is greater than, and it will just input some small number like 0.01. In other words, if we start moving, well then we want to transition to a run animation. We also want to go in here and make sure that this transition is immediate. In other words, we don't want something called exit time, where we wait for the animation to stop playing before we start playing a new one. No, we simply want to transition as soon as we start moving.
Okay, let me just do that. Transition, we don't want exit time. Let me just check everything else. I'm pretty sure we do the rest as 0 for this.
Simply gonna disable that. Let's also go under settings, and here we can choose the duration of our transition. This is not something that you often use when creating 2D games, but it's used all the time to blend between animations in 3D games. But for us, again, we want this to be completely immediate, so we'll go in and set the transition duration to 0. Of course, we also want to be able to transition back from our run animation. Currently, we will only be able to go from our idle to run, and then even though we stop moving, it will still play our run animation. So we'll go in here and right click and make a new transition. This one is going to go to idle. Let's select our transition and add a new condition. This time we only want to transition if the speed is less than, and then we'll again add a tiny number here, so 0.01. Again, we don't want any exit time, and under settings we'll set the transition duration to 0. And now our animator should actually work with these two animations. In fact, if we take our animator and dog it to the right here, and then try to hit play, we can see that by default it plays the idle animation. But if I then go and change the speed, say...
I know we can change animations in the code, so that's why I'm thinking walk down, idle down should definitely work. So for this transition, we're just going to make sure that the conditions are that you know, for this to actually happen from the walk down, then you know that should be idle. So can we see this is the question. So what did he do to demonstrate this?
We set it to 1, our character starts running, and as soon as I set it back to 0, he goes right back to idling.
Okay, so let me just check something. So game, animator, what's going on? Oh, yep. I just want to make this a bit more accessible. Yep. Cool. Alright, so does this work? If we're moving down. Or is this wrong? I might need to do something else with the walk down animation. He's moving down. Okay. So stop. He's idling down at the moment. Alright. What was the first game that I made? Not one that I've currently got public. It is that would be a Chomp and Cheeky would be my first commercial one. So I guess you could say that would be, yeah, technically my first one. Everything else has been, you know, just trying to learn, I guess. So yeah, Chomp and Cheeky. But yeah, I don't count, like, you know, projects that I do that where I'm just doing it to learn as one that I've made myself, kind of thing. I've just done them to learn, kind of thing. I guess. Add behavior. Okay, so I can't. So how does he do? Oops. How does he do this?
So now all we need to do is change this speed to work with these two animations. In fact, if we take our animator and dog it to the right here, and then try to hit play, we can see that 0, 1. Again, we don't...
Oh, okay. I can see what he's done there. He has another transition. What if we created a transition to... Yep. And this one is going to be moving down. So moving down is true. Okay. So if we play this, what happens? Idle down, walk down. Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. God, it feels good. Okay. So that's fine. Trouble is though, idles are all over the place. They really are. I may have to organize this matrix a little differently, only because of the way that's working. So you can go from any direction though. You can go from any direction to walk in another direction. So this is gonna be a little messy. Interesting. Dave H, welcome to the stream. What you doing? I am recreating my game that I coded from pure code, basically, using Phaser 3 into Unity. So this game you see here, I'm recreating it, putting it in, and recreating it in Unity for the rest of the development of it. The animator looks like a nightmare. There's a few different things there. So I at the moment I've put all the animations in there, and you can tell it to do certain things. I mean, you could probably use the code for this as well, the scripts for this, but this is a more visual way of, I guess, doing it. I'm trying to get a system here which is, yeah, a little bit easier to understand. You should use scripts and blend trees. I've got transitions here. What's a blend tree? I don't understand what that is. I'm still learning a lot about how Unity works, so that's why I'm sort of following a video, I guess. You can link if you like. Assuming your link's going to be genuine. Oh, hello, someone's delivering something. Sorry, just a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, but I'm back, sorry. Alright. This is my enemies animator. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of probably doing something like this because of the way that this is going to be. I thought I could do it. If I click on the move, I have blend tree. Oh, okay. This is neat. I'll show this on stream here for a sec. This is Dave H. He's organization of the animation tree. Bye, good night. Good night, Chuggin. I know you're not really leaving, so is it in its code as it moves, it updates the change and what? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it kind of is a bit like a yeah, right. And you have this on the one layer, like do you do multiple layers, or do layers actually matter that way? Where's naughty videos trying to make a Zelda clone? Oh yeah. This is going to help me a lot, I think, in different ways. I think I'm going to move this off the screen there for now, but I think what you've linked me here is going to be very useful in organizing all this, so let's just work on that. Yeah, if you right click and create a blend tree, you can create one. Oh really? Oh yeah, create state. Oh yeah, new blend tree. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think that might be a better idea. Give them the opening action if you wish. Time to hand out some points, I think. Ah, I've misspelt it. That's why it didn't work. There. And we have this. Wow. Dave H, thanks for following, mate. Appreciate it. This is pretty cool, man. Love it. Cool. Give me a sec. I want to put these on this tab instead. Okay. I think organize myself. Uh-huh. Excellent. As the enemy changes direction, it's moving the blend trees updates. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna do something like that now because I needed to. I'm like, yeah, I need to change this again because of the way things are working. Oh, let's have a look. Ooh. I just have different directions though, so I need to Like to watch, but I need to go to bed sometime. No worries, Chuckin. Thanks for visiting, dude. Appreciate it. I know it's quite late over there. As the enemy changes directions, it's moving the blend tree updates and tells if Y is 1, then play move up. Last one watches watch this for sure. Oh, okay. Have a look. What's this video about? Animator
Into
hell.
the light.
Escaping Animator hell.
Back to a place of order. So in my past devlogs and tutorials, I've often showed glimpses of my Animator tab, with nicely laid out animation nodes, with no transition links or spiderweb-like structure. A lot of people reached out to me for information as to how I managed to do this. So let me explain. So this here is the Unity Animator tab. I'm sure you know it. The nodes represent the different animations attached to a particular game object. Almost every tutorial I've seen for making simple frame-based animation changes, with even pixel art for instance, is pushing beginners into this complex network of nodes, linked together through these animation transitions. Each transition line when selected will have on it a number of different settings, many of which are not even applicable to frame-based animation, things like animation blending. This network is then tied to a list of animator-specific parameters, where instead of just specifying what animation should be played, you are required to set a bunch of animator-specific conditions, things like is grounded or player speed or things like that. This whole system is sometimes referred to as the Unity mechanism. Well, you see, in a simple tutorial, when you only have like 3 animation states, like a jump, run, or an attack, then sure, this approach might be manageable, laying things out in this pretty little triangle structure that you often see. But try to do this with more than 10 animations, or in my case, 48. If you have tried this approach, then you might have played the fun little game of trying to find an orderly and aesthetically pleasing structure to your layout. It's a lot of fun. Not really. And throughout the internet, there is no shortage of developers voicing their anguish as they fight against this system. I mean, look at this poor soul here. And the same goes for things like blend trees. They are not the optimal solution for frame-based animation. I mean, the name itself is very telling of that, blend trees, which is inherently designed for blending skeletal animations between different states. But if you're working on 2D frame-based animations, this topological animator approach very quickly leads to animations twitching, flickering, overriding each other, or straight up not playing, as situations can easily emerge where multiple animations fight for priority and essentially just get locked. For a code-oriented programmer like myself, it's just clumsy to work with. I myself lost weeks of time wrestling with this system, until I was eventually like, what the hell am I doing here? And realized this is not the right approach for me or my game. You see, when making frame-based 2D games, you don't need any of this. Beginners often don't realize you can just tell the animator directly what animation it should play, then manage the animation states with custom code much more efficiently and easily. And if something doesn't work, it's a lot easier to see what went wrong.
Absolutely.
You need a reference to the animator component. But this time, instead of using animator conventions like setFloat, setBool to manage our animations, we are going to use the animator.play functionality, where we can pass in the name of our animation as a string. You see, when you use that first approach with that setBool, setFloat, you are offloading the logic to another system, a black box essentially, and all this is often getting wrapped up into yet another layer of custom conditional code anyway, creating layers upon layers of conditional wrapping, like a stinky onion. It's much simpler to manage all the conditional logic in one place with a custom code approach. So how do we use this approach to manage multiple animations? We simply need a reference to the animator, a string called current state, and a change animation state function, which will take a single argument of new state of type string. So within this new function, we can start by telling the animator to play the new state. We will also write what is known as a guard. This will stop the same animation trying to play that is already playing, essentially. Then finally, we will reassign the current animation state to the new state. This change animation state function is at the core of how we are going to be managing our animation states. Alright, so let's now take a look at a practical real-world example of this using an actual player controller. So I've got this little sample scene here I've mocked up. I'm just going to run it to show you guys what's going on. So we've got Mega Man, he's moving around, he's jumping, but he's not animating. And if we go up into the animator window for the player, you can see here I've got a series of animations nicely laid out to represent the different animations that Mega Man might have. We've got idle, run, jump, player attack, and player air attack. And I'm going to give this project for you guys down below so you can grab it, you can follow along with me, and you can work out how we integrate these animations. So this isn't one of those tutorials where you have to follow along with the code writing it yourself. You can kind of sit back and watch it as more of a lecture format. But if you wanted to challenge yourself and actually write the code with me, then you're more than welcome to follow along with the supplied files I've linked below. So let's take a look at the script file. Let's find Mega Man. Let's pop this open. So this is the script that I'll make available for you guys, and I'll just very quickly run you through it. I don't want to make this into like a player controller tutorial video because it's just going to get too long. I want this to be very specific to the animation methodology that I'm trying to convey here. Okay, so we've got the animator, very importantly. We've got a bunch of stuff here just for kind of moving around and ground checks and jump force and things like that. A lot of input stuff. So here, okay, so I've made a bunch of constants to represent the animations in the game. So if we go to the Animator tab, see the names here, idle, run, jump, attack, all that, they are just here as constants. This saves us writing out each name over and over, and it saves us having typos and things like that. And you can most certainly put these into like an enum. I know a lot of people like to do that. Enums are ways that you can hold different parameters in like one encapsulated object. But because this is a very beginner-friendly tutorial, I don't want to get too much into enums right now. Okay. So we just got a rigid body, we're mapping an animator, we've got a ground mask that we're using for a ground check. And in the update loop, very lightweight, we're just checking the left axes, so left and right buttons on the joystick and A and D on the keyboard. We have a spacebar check, we have a right control keyboard check, which is flagging the attack. And down in the fixed update, as you guys know, update is for like input checks. Fixed update is for actually executing physics and movement and things like that. In the fixed update, we are just checking for the ground, and we are using is grounded. We are flagging that to true or false, depending on if you can find the ground beneath the player. And then we are just creating a velocity holder, and we are checking if that x-axis that we mapped in the update is either pressed left, middle, or right. And then we have is jumped. We're adding the force to the jump, and then we're mapping the velocity. And okay, so here we are checking if the attack is pressed. We have a check to make sure that is attacking is false before it's true. And we're doing that because we don't, when we do eventually write this animation code in here, we don't want the attack to be overriding itself. So let's look at adding these animation play references. Okay, so if we are pressing left, if we are pressing right, then move the player. And if we're not, then velocity is 0. So here would be a good place to start for the idle. We will say change animation state. Player, instead our constants are here, player idle, nice and convenient. And if left or right is being pressed, then player run. And you can put them here like that, but we don't like to repeat ourselves in code. So what we might do, we're going to say if x-axis is not equal to 0, which means it's being pressed either left or right, then change animation state to run.
He cut that. Oh, okay.
And what we can do, we can just maybe make an else and move the idle here. That's a little bit neater. You'll notice that I'm putting this change animation state logic within the player script. You don't have to put it there. I'm doing it just for convenience for this video. If you wanted to, you could make like a separate script called Animation Manager or something like that. Then you could talk between the player script and the Animation Manager and tell it what to do. But I don't want to be jumping between too many tabs in the windows right now, so people don't get confused. But yeah, you can do it like that if you wanted to. All right, so if I was to quickly run that as a test, cool, and he blinks, boom. All right, so that's working fine. Oh, and by the way, you might be aware that right now there is a huge sale going on the Unity asset store. And one of my own assets, the Ultimate 2D car game kit, is part of that sale. So if you've ever been interested in making car games, this is a great foundation to get into that genre. It's got like full mobile support, full controller support, ready to build, sound effects, drift physics, race systems, everything you can think of. It's really cool. So do check it out. It's a fantastic asset that I personally built with a lot of attention and care for you guys to make games with and hopefully make money with too through the App Store or Steam. So now we just need to do the jump. So here we are checking for the jump press. We're adding force. So we'll just say change. Oh. Change animation state to player jump. Okay, and that will let the player jump. But what we need to do, we want to make sure that the idle is not overriding the jump. So we need to write a condition over here for that. And I'll explain to you just why very quickly. I'll run that to show you what the problem will be. So jump, oh, yep, you see that? He tries to jump. You can see his arms raised and the idle takes over. So what we'll do, we can wrap this whole thing here. We'll say if is grounded, and I'll just remove this closing bracket over here.
We're not doing
so only if they're on the ground, and then if the joystick is moving or not, will it respond to those animations. Otherwise, it's just going to jump. Oh, look at that. Yo! I'm digging that.
That looks really good.
So at this point, we've got 3 animations without any fancy spiderweb networks or any parameters being sent to the animator or set float, set bool. So we'll wrap this up with the attack. All right, so in this condition block here, so if the input is being pressed to attack, then we want to change animation state to player attack. And you see we have 2 attacks, we have air attack and a normal attack. So we now need to choose between which of those we want to do. And we'll do that by simply checking if we're on the ground or not. So say if is grounded. So if is grounded is true.
Yeah, I'll definitely do a code
then
approach
play the
to
normal
this.
ground attack.
I think this is going to be good.
Else, I'll just copy and paste this. And we're going to say player air attack. Cool, that makes sense, right? So if we're on the ground, play the normal attack. If we're not on the ground, play the air attack. So you can see here we have this attack complete that I've just set up. And all it's doing is setting attack back to false. And what that means is, because we have this condition here that doesn't actually allow the attack to play more than once until this Boolean flag is set back to false. So attack will only play if the attacking is not already attacking, basically. Then after a period of time, we want to call this attack complete. So to do that, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use an invoke. And all this does is it calls another function after a period of time. So all you do is pass in the string name, which in this case is attack complete. And then you need to pass in a time. After how long should this function be called? And as I mentioned, you can just kind of hard code in a value like 0.3. But I've actually created a attack delay variable at the top here, which I've set to 0.3. And I've serialized that so you can kind of play with it through the inspector to kind of get the best outcome you want. But we'll just go back down to there. Right, so what this is going to do is, this is just going to, after 0.3 of a second, it's going to allow us to shoot again. So I might just... so we just want to also make sure that before the play goes back to an idle state, he's also not shooting, much like we did with the grounded. Is attacking. So if it's grounded and is attacking is false. So we don't want the play to be attacking when we make the decision to go back to idle or to run. So one problem I have here is I didn't include the Mega Man run shoot animation. If you've ever played a Mega Man, you'll know that he can run and shoot at the same time. I don't have that. So he's kind of gonna go back to an idle, but the point will be made anyway, I think. All right, so what if you wanted to map this attack delay to the length of one of these specific animations? Depending on the kind of game you're making, if you're making like a fighting game that has like broad sweeping attacks like a sword, then typically you might want to wait for that animation to completely finish playing before then you tell it can do something else. Well, what you can do is you can say attack delay equals animator dot get current animator state info. Then open and close brackets and pass in a 0, and that's an index value. So that's returning the current animation that's playing, the animator's current animation. And then we just simply ask for the length. So this attack now delay will return in seconds as a float how long either of these animations are, which is really cool because if the attack ground animation and the air animation are different, if one was longer than the other, then you could wait till they have completely finished to do it like that. But in this case, we'll just leave it as this attack value, which is like 0.3 if I'm not mistaken.
This is very
okay. Well, that
you haven't derailed my stream.
So let's check this out now. See what
slightly,
happens.
a momentary distraction with a video. That's fine.
So we got the running,
so
jumping, and now we got the pew, 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 pew.
Definitely stuff I need to understand here.
Now jump shoot, jump shoot. I know there's no bullets, guys. I know. But if you want to learn how to do like bullets and stuff like that, I have many tutorials that I've already covered this topic in detail. So I'll put links or thumbnails or something for you guys to reference. But yeah, for the time being, we just have the animation state. But look at that, guys. We've got the jump. And like I mentioned, I don't have the run shoot. So that's why he's kind of sliding and shooting. But we've got the jump, we've got the shoot, and it's really cool, guys. So the most important thing here is that this animator is super clean, no crazy links, no spider webs, and this parameter list is empty, no conditions, no shenanigans, no malarkey. Everything is clean and optimal and easy to follow. I use these exact same techniques to approach the animation management in my own game Blood and Mead, where I have dozens upon dozens of different situational animations with different condition checks and things like that, and it works beautifully. You can actually wishlist the game on Steam at the moment, so if you did that, that'll be really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll actually make this whole complete project available for all you guys to play with down below. So get into it, guys, and make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Oh, and by the way,
I'm definitely a thumbs upping this video. 100%.
Setup is kind of semi-active. I'm still working on a few little kinks, and there's this wires running everywhere at this point. So that's it. All the best on your game dev adventures, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye.
Okay, so this is great. Yeah, I'm definitely going to use this method. This is going to be extremely helpful. So again, Dave, I'm going to give you some more points for this, but after I finish completing this system, I'll give you even more. Oh, I've done it wrong again. I'm such a noob. Add, Dave. There we go. So yeah, so that's Lost Relic Games with that video, and thanks to Dave for sharing that. Dave H in the chat there. So I will be yeah, definitely following that, because doing this system's going to be a lot easier than doing it this way. So yeah, I'll organize that. For now though, I am gonna go and I'm gonna head off now and go for a walk basically for the rest of the day, since the sun's actually out. I thought it might be raining, but it's not. Can you link your game again? Yeah, absolutely. This is it, After Realms. This is the one I'm remaking here. Too many R's. Hang on. Oh my god. Realms. Yeah, that worked. Alright, so basically, yeah, I'll definitely work on this a bit later. I'll see what I'm doing tonight with this, but I don't think I'll be I'll just have to see at this point. But yeah, I'll definitely be working on the rest of this tomorrow. Today we did we just got all the animations in, and we were just learning how we can organize that, and I think this is something that we can definitely do. So tomorrow I'll be looking at organizing this screen here to be more organized, and we'll dive into, you know, activating the animations and also doing the movement, I think. We don't really have enough time today, but thank you very much. I really want to thank Dave for following there, Dave H, and for sharing all that helpful information. I'll certainly be making a note of that, actually. So we're going to make a note of all this. We want to follow this, don't we? So we want to to Dave H. Twitch member for providing these resources and helping to organize the animation system. So I'll be doing that, and I'll just want to actually, I'm going to move this over to here. Yeah, there we are. Whoops. Want this over here. Okay. So we'll be organizing things in a similar fashion to what you referenced there. Very nice. I don't think that's twice, did I? Oh no. Cool. Animations are now recorded and created. Grip them in for the player. That is for the player. Okay. Cool. Very nice. Oh wow, it's actually provided all that. How come it isn't? What? I'm confused. Why are they not working? Let's try that. Oh, this one. Oh, I didn't copy them properly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there should be 4 there. Wow. GitHub, what the hell? I joined the Discord if you need anything. Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate it. Yeah, definitely welcome. Definitely welcome. Absolutely. I have no issues with that. That video needs to be first, actually. Follow the principles of it. I think this is something that everyone should learn from too. Preview. Yeah. There we go. How come these aren't working? What the hell? What is this? What is this? Okay, so those work. That's in there. Oh. Fun. Yeah. There we go. Now it should be there. Yes, it is. Okay, great. Neat. Alrighty. Fantastic. Alrighty. So with this one, we are going to shameless plug. I'm going to head off, but we're gonna raid someone, by the way. I do have a share your progress section on the Discord, by the way. Dave, if you want to share anything there, or if you have anything complete, actually, feel free to share it in the, let me just show you. There is a game showcase. So if you've completed a game, the game showcase is it. If you haven't completed a game but want to share the progress on it, it's a share game progress link. Your Twitter link. I have a live stream thing. This is fine. You can mention that in the creative chat if you like, or even Anything like that, yeah. Anything like that you're working on. So if you've shared something on Twitter or something and you want to share it in the progress, you can do that. But yeah, I don't have specific rules in terms of like advertising. But just as long as everything you share is relevant to the topic that you're doing there, and you're not spamming it, basically, that's fine. Alrighty, no worries. But yeah, thanks very much for watching there, and thanks for your support there, guys. I'm gonna find a raid for you guys, so I'll be on tomorrow, and we'll continue doing this process here. So stay tuned, and thanks so much for following, and your support's absolutely amazing. I'm going to see if we can get someone to look after you. Any recommendations, please shout now, otherwise I'm just going to go ahead. Yeah, thanks very much. I also want to thank Mr. Solo for the raid and for following. Really appreciate that too. Thank you very much. Alrighty, thanks for the chat, guys, as well. Chuckin, thanks for coming in. Brenner, thanks for coming in. Zurath, Tiny Tree, absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Okay, the channel I was going to raid has actually disabled raid, so I'm finding somebody else. Here we go. See if we can do a raid here. There we yep, cool. We'll raid Leah T Codes. Alright, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.